Anyways, oh man, this thing's hot. What's good, guys? Today, we're gonna come at you with that simple, nice and effective spine day, all right? I'm gonna be showing y'all 3 exercises that you can start today to get that spine moving nice and easy, flexing easy. Oh man. And yeah, working on that flexion extension that I talked about in the previous video. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go check that one out and then come back to this one. And then it'll start making a little bit more sense. So let's get to it. First exercise, we're gonna work on that wall segmentation, but we're gonna up the ante a little bit, okay? We're gonna make it just a little bit tougher. So first things first, we gotta grab a heavy dumbbell. Okay, you're gonna have to go Bear Grylls style. I don't care where you find it, but you gotta find something that needs some decent amount of weight. So right here, I have a 55-pound dumbbell. You can honestly probably get away with like a 30, 40 pounder. All right, you'll see. But there's gonna be a little bit of a precaution warning. We're gonna get to that in a second. Next thing, we're gonna get a band, okay? We know how we feel about bands. Now, preferably just a light band, okay? I have the red one, which is like one level up above this, but you don't wanna go above that, all right, when it comes to this exercise, because at that point, you're almost better off just using weights, okay? But right now, just starting off, we're gonna be prepping the spine, but also strengthening it here in a second. So we do it like a little loop-de-loop, all right? All right, you loop it under, loop it through, nice and easy, all right? But you gotta make sure it's tight. You gotta make sure it's on there tight because like I said, what I'm about to show y'all, it's gonna be something. Pre-disclaimer, okay? Very important. One time in the gym, all right, I was doing this, okay? I was praying to the Lord. So I had my eyes closed and I was segmenting for dear life. I said, I was in the gym, just letting out the demons. I had my eyes closed. I was praying to God. And next thing you know, the band, it broke because the band was just, it was an old band and it just came and smacked me in the face when my eyes were closed. And I thought Archangel Chamuel himself hit me with enlightenment in that moment. And, but I opened my eyes and realized I need a new band. So we're gonna set the dumbbell out in front of us, all right? What's that? From the wall. Okay, we're thinking, you know, yeah, that's about 8 feet. So I'm like 7 feet tall, okay? 6'5" on a good day. The dumbbell, okay, dude, seriously, it's probably just 6 feet, okay? Doesn't matter, all right? You're gonna figure this out as you go. I do have a yoga block here, okay? I don't know what it is about yoga blocks, but they get me going. So, we need the wall for manual feedback, you know what I'm saying? Okay, because we're gonna need like a point of contact just to know, and especially to help us at the beginning when we're segmenting our spine. That way we know, or we can actually feel the parts of our spine moving. I use the yoga block actually just as a point to create tension. So I try to squeeze my feet, push in to the yoga block as I do this exercise, okay? Basically, we're trying to create what's called a radiation. It's just a fancy word for, you know, tension throughout the body. And sometimes it's good to have something there to like squeeze into. That way we activate more things in the body, okay? Basically going Super Saiyan in this. So standard approach, we got the feet out in front, 3 to 4 feet, you know, who knows these days, that's what I said in the last video. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you're gonna wanna go see that before this. Now, we're gonna pull it towards us. It's just like the back peel off earlier, but this time we got that resistance and this is a nice, easy setup, okay? So now, we're gonna pull the chin to chest, okay? Get those traps off, and then be sure to, most importantly, relax the shoulders, because I tend to like really hunch up like this for some reason, okay? So make sure you're depressing the shoulder blades down as you're doing this, or peeling off that trap area, neck area, okay? Upper back, now the middle of the back, more of the middle back, and as we're doing this, we're trying to crunch down on our abs too, peeling off the L5. It's about to explode, okay? And then now, since we're hunchback whale right now, we gotta go back, okay? Crescent moon style. Okay, make sure you're just actually trying to extend the spine back the way it started. Okay? Yeah. And so that's like 1 rep. Now, obviously, that takes time. So the way you want to structure this, especially at first, you either want to approach it 2 ways. We're only going to do 1 to 2 reps at a time. Okay, in the beginning, just 1 rep. And then more advanced 2 reps, but like I said, nice and slow. Or you want to set up a timer, 40 seconds to a minute of just really focused in, intense work, all right? And just try to go do the reps all the way fully through. So something like that, you start out, you do 3 sets, maybe 4 sets, 5 if you're really taking them 2 scoops deep, and lock in on this, okay? Yeah, this is a good place to start because this is going to get you prepped in the future, you know, when we're going to be doing those Jefferson curls with like 315, 400 pounds. You know, we're going to pull grandma out from the freaking casket and we're just going to be holding her, bringing her back up nice and easy. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're going to be. That's the long-term goal, but you know, we got to start somewhere. And that somewhere is right here. This is more primarily, we're segmenting, it's going to be like the upper length of the back, okay? Because there is some lower back activation at the very end, but not quite what I want. So this next exercise, that's what's going to get that lower back nice and crispy. So get ready. Next exercise. I believe this is like some Bruce Lee type stuff, right? What we're about to do. I think it's called like the Dragon Curl 3, something crazy, bro. Like Bruce Lee was like on this, but obviously, you know, we're not on that level yet. We're gonna have to take it multiple steps down, and we're gonna be essentially doing like the same concept, but the intention is gonna be completely different. You heard that?
It doesn't matter how long you've been lost in thought, just notice it in this instant.
All right, y'all probably seen this before. I'm just gonna demo what normally this would look like, okay? Something like this, okay? All right. Oh my God, doesn't that just work the core? Yeah, shut up. The thing about this is if you noticed, our lower back comes off the ground. Now, this is gonna be the tricky part, okay? This is gonna be a little bit, it's not like super grandma beginner, but it's just, you know, it's you know, we're not just, you know. So as we come up, that back's coming off the floor, okay? Sorry, the mic's getting in my triple chin. Now, okay, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be slowly pulling our back to the floor, okay? 1 segment at a time. So the focus here is actually on the spine. It's not really on the abs, okay? And then back down. But here's the deal. On the way up, this turns into an absolute nightmare. So let's say we're trying to pull off, okay? That butt, it's called like a butt wink. The butt wink's under, okay? Lower back's slowly starting to peel off. Now we're moving to the middle back, towards the upper, and then back up. Oh God, okay? And then back down. And remember, try to feel each part of your spine both ways. You gotta feel it both ways. Oh my God. So yeah, now, if you want to make this a little bit more advanced, like I said, you could go Bruce Lee style. Okay, we could go way up. Y'all didn't think I was this savage, but I'm about to show y'all I'm on some next level shit. So, now we're gonna freaking peel up, down, up. Oh yeah, dude, y'all see me? Y'all didn't think I was like the dragon, but here I am. Dragging these nuts on your face, baby. What? That's actually half a rep. Holy shit. So, we could go Bruce Lee style on it.
You see what I'm saying? So as we're coming up, lower back's starting to peel off the ground. Then we're going to the middle back. Okay, and then towards the upper, and then we're really getting on the shoulder blades. I'm telling y'all, y'all think that y'all thought this was Mickey Mouse games. But like I said, I've been putting in that freaking work, dude. Look at that one arm. Oh God. My spine and abs are on fire. Ew. Oh God. Lord. Why do I do this? Y'all want to talk about freaking core pump? Yeah. Go do a couple reps of those. Tell me how you feeling after. So, like I said, that's actually training the spine, but from the reverse. You know what I'm saying? So that was starting from the neck, but this is now starting from the L5, the glutes. You know what I mean? It's starting from the down up. The other one's up down. This one down up, and yeah. But if that's, like I said, the bringing the knees in, the legs bent is obviously going to be easier, and then the Bruce Lee styles the legs out in front of you. So go ahead, give that a try, and unleash hell. Now, this isn't the third exercise, but like I said, if that lower back peel off, okay, on the squat rack was too hard, we can move towards this. But I will warn you, you might feel a little bit embarrassed doing this. So you may want to go to like the corner of the gym, look at that dark corner in the group exercise room with the lights off. That might be the move. So this, what's this called? Like a stability ball? Whatever. Okay, ideally we want the biggest stability ball possible, okay, because this exercise, it's got a name, it's called the reverse hyper. Now, unfortunately, most gyms don't have one of these, or the actual machine. Okay, I'll probably post it up somewhere so you guys can see what it looks like. That machine would be splendid, but the problem is it costs a lot of cashish, and most gyms, they don't care about your gains, they care about your wallet, okay? But not your boy C, okay? Because I don't have access to this stuff, okay? That's why you like and subscribe, so I can afford this shit. Yeah, so I don't have access to this stuff, so we gotta improvise, right? You know, we living in poverty. It's the world these days. So, we're gonna go on this, and our waist is gonna be planted into the ball. That sounded a little weird. Now, but like I said, it's kind of, I don't really like this because you can't get a full range of motion, but at least it's a decent place to start. So essentially we're gonna be strong in like a push-up position, but I like to kind of lower my back to increase the range of motion, okay? And all you're really gonna do is you're gonna segment up, okay? And the same thing. So now, actually the negative portion of this is actually gonna start from the mid-back all the way down to the lower. And you're actually gonna feel some relief on your lower back once you start tucking it in, okay? Now we're gonna go the opposite way, okay? And you can get kind of fancy with this, kind of like bend your feet in and stuff like that. But, you know, we got to start somewhere, and we got to make the best of what we have. You don't want to just explode up like this. Just makes no sense. If that is too easy, we use some ankle weights. So now we bust these bad boys on. We're like, what's it called? What's that dude from that one show? Naruto? Rock Lee or some shit? Yeah, we slapping on the ankle weights. Now this doesn't look so sissy. You know what I'm saying? Because I got ankle weights on now. Things get serious when the ankle weights come on. Same concept, okay? But now we got the ankle weights on. We're gonna segment up. Okay, hold. Back down, nice and slow, okay? It's not really about the reps here, baby. It's about the quality. Back up. Okay. And back down. All right. So like I said, we got to start somewhere. So if exercise numero dos was too hard, you might want to start here. All right. Like I said, 3 sets, 3,000 reps, you know, the more the better. And lastly, we got the good old Jefferson curl. Okay. Now this might be actually the most Neanderthal exercise, but honestly, it really puts in that work. Now, I'm going to be posting up a short before this, so go check that out about the back extension. So that is a variation you can use, because when it comes to the back extension, okay, you can actually use segmentation, but here's the problem with the back extension. Because you can't really manipulate gravity, unfortunately. I mean, if you know how, just message me. We could probably make some fat cash. But because you can't adjust gravity and your body weight can't really change like on the spot, you're kind of stuck at a certain weight. So with this, at least, you know, we can start at the bar. Or you can just grab some light weights, okay, and you can start practicing the Jefferson curl, okay, as long as it's under control. But this is a little bit advanced, so make sure that the back's it's feeling pretty good, okay, going into this. All right. Now, we're at the deadlift platform, but ideally I'd start at like the squat rack, okay, but the problem is I can't get a good angle over there, okay? That's content, all right? It's all about them angles. So we go Neanderthal style. Why do I have the ankle weights on? I have no idea. So, bringing it up. Like I said, this is the freaking Neanderthal Zotman setup, okay? Now, you can obviously just pull this up. Like I said, normally you get this out of the squat rack, you know, like this, all right? But basically, what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna show y'all something crazy here in a second, so stay tuned. So we're gonna do the Jefferson curl. So kind of like the back peel off, except now we're gonna be training it. So the same concept is we're hugging it close to the body. And I noticed this is a better setup than, in my opinion, than doing it in like the stiff leg with your grip position, just because I feel like it's just where the weight is at as compared to in your hands in front of you. When the weight's nice and close to you, for some reason I can actually contract my spine more, as opposed to if it's in my hands, I actually end up feeling it more in my hamstrings. So, you know, we're coming down, okay, all the way down to the lower back. And it doesn't have to look perfect at first, but the biggest thing is you don't really want to bend the knees at all. You don't want to do this. You want to keep them straight, kind of keep your knees locked out. Okay, I'm already shaking down here because them hamstrings are putting in work. And then now we're coming back up, okay? Now you might be worried and be like, is your lower back rounding? Hell yeah, it is. But as long as it's under control and we're not a maniac with a bunch of weight, we should be good to go.
Bringing her back up, nice and easy. You know?
And the point is to train that spine all the way through. Upper back, middle back, now towards the lower, okay? And as I come down, I try to think about pushing my butt up. Oh. Yeah, and then lock the knees out, coming back, up, nice and strong, okay? So, obviously, because I'm demoing and talking, it's not gonna look perfect, but that is the concept, okay? Now, the barbell, it's a big boy, okay? And it starts out at 45 pounds, but we can use, most gyms have easy bars, okay? So check this out. So this is even less. So you could use something like this. And the cool thing is it actually kind of works better in your forearms too, all right? And so the same concept goes, okay? And you don't have to go all the way down, okay? Especially when you're starting out, just go to where you feel decent. So just boom. If it's like just right here, that's fine. And back up, okay? I'm not gonna call you a bitch, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. That was a joke. All right, so work in the range that you have control under. That's the name of the game. That's the name of the game, okay? You always wanna work in the range that you have control over, okay? Work in the range that you have control under. Yeah, that's the thing. So, work in the range that you have control under. So go ahead and give that a try. Work in the range that you have control under. Work in the range that you have control under. All right, so there you have it. 3 exercises. You can get started ASAP to work on your spinal journey. And
only smile on my own and just know I overcame the hardest thing in my life that I've ever known. It's hard to justify unless you've walked the path that I've strolled.
Damn, dude, this camera angle's just all janked up, dude. Yo, I'm sorry, but we're gonna roll with it, baby, because I don't want to do take 2. Now, so go ahead, give those a try. I'll probably put down in the description below like a nice little like workout you can follow, a beginner style workout. But remember, you always want to do the minimum amount at first, okay? No need to go overboard. So 1 to 2 sets of each one of those exercises, but with real focus. That's ideally what you want to do, okay? Because you don't need a bunch of different variations. You just need to pick like 2 to 3 movements, but just go really hard with them, okay? Always got to be hard. Anyway, so, but like I said, just got to put in the work, got to put in the reps, got to put in the numbers, but most importantly, you got to put in that heart, baby. Much love. Peace and flakes like zebra cakes, and we out.